Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me yet again for another episode of Rob Explains, your daily podcast discussing and explaining cool, random, and interesting things. I'm Rob. This is yet another bonus episode for release day. As a reminder, on release day, you'll be able to check out our introduction episode, episode 1, and several bonus episodes to let you know what kind of content you can expect over the coming weeks and months. Sticking with the familiar topics from the previous bonus episodes, I wanted to bring that conversation home and maybe answer a question that you've asked yourself for a while now. Why does my pup love their squeaky toy so much? Now, producer Carly of the The Anthem podcast loves her squeaky toys, and she will drive you insane squeaking those toys over and over again. And it's likely that if you have a pup at home, they are enjoying the squeaky toys just as much. And they will continue to squeak and squeak and squeak. But it's so funny. As much as they love a toy, as soon as that squeaker breaks, they will drop it and leave it alone. Did you ever wonder why that is? Well, it turns out it might be for a very dark reason. But there are a couple theories, so let's start with the light and work towards the dark. First up, the health benefits of squeaky toys. It is possible that your dog loves its squeaky toy because it gives it some kind of feedback and thus encourages play. As they play more, their body, like our bodies, are flooded with endorphins. It's a reward for getting up and moving, getting some exercise, and stimulating our brains. So because the squeak is giving it feedback and thus encouraging more play, the endorphins are rewarding the play, and they connect the squeak toy to the endorphins. This is very similar to Pavlov's dog experiment, where he was able to make a dog salivate at the sound of a bell, because you're connecting two things that really have nothing to do with each other through the reward process. So although the squeaky toy isn't really what's causing the endorphin rush, it's the play that the squeaky toy is causing, the endorphin rush is connected to the squeak toy, and thus squeaking continues. The second reason, slightly darker than the first, might be the immediate gratification that your dog gets from the squeak toy. While a silent toy is there, it's in its mouth, and they can play with it, and in fact, producer Carly loves her silent toys as well and tosses them around the room, the fact that the toy squeaks lets them know, hey, you're biting this, and the bite is working, keep it going. It offers an immediate and constant auditory feedback. And again, much like the first example, that auditory feedback is seen as a reward. It can cause an endorphin rush of happiness and joy, and then the squeak is somewhat related to the endorphins. Finally, let's turn to the darkest reason. Well, your dog, no matter what breed, shares its genes with wild wolves and wild dogs. Producer Carly is adorable, and in fact, her entire breed was essentially made just to lounge around palaces and keep company royalty. But that doesn't mean that way down deep, she doesn't share the killer instinct of a wild wolf. And there may be something about that squeak toy that activates that killer instinct, because the squeak sounds very similar to a wounded animal. And once your friendly, loving pup hears that squeak, it goes into killer mode and jumps on it and continues squeaking it over and over and over again, because the goal, driven by those genes, is to get the thing to stop squeaking. And when it does, well, mission accomplished, and no longer need to focus on this toy that's not squeaking. Essentially, although it's a toy, they are activating the part of the brain that says, this is my prey. And when the squeaking stops, the prey is dead, and it's no longer necessary to continue their voracious attack. Now, it may be hard to see your little angel as a wild wolf attacking its prey, but again, keep in mind, they have a common ancestor, which means all of that genetic knowledge is down deep somewhere in that cute little face that wakes up to you every day. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Rob Explains. If you want more Rob Explains, make sure you're following us on social media at Rob Explains on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Got a question, comment, or query, or did I get something wrong and you want to correct me? Shoot me an email at rob@robexplains.com, or comment on the video below, or send me a message via Anchor. This is, of course, Rob Explains, part of the The Anthem digital network. New episodes daily, so make sure you're subscribed so those new episodes are downloaded directly to your device and ready for your listening. But until next time, Take care of yourselves and each other. Have a great day.